In the year 2030, the world of automobiles has transformed into something far beyond the imagination of the past, and yet standing in front of this machine it feels like even the wildest dreams were too small, because this McLaren concept is not simply a car, it is an idea forged into reality, a living, breathing sculpture of speed and ambition that dominates the studio with its sheer presence. Under the aesthetic glow of lights, the body stretches flat and wide across the floor like a predator crouching low to the ground, ready to strike at the very first signal of movement. Every surface has been shaped not only with engineering precision but also with artistic expression, and the marriage of these two creates something that looks less like it was built and more like it was born. The blue and black paint glimmers with a hypnotic rhythm, one angle showing the vibrant intensity of electric blue, another angle sinking into the depth of matte black shadows, and together the tones shift and dance across the panels like waves in motion, making the car appear alive even when it stands still. The front of the machine is sharp, aggressive, and impossibly low. The headlights are not simple beams but razor-thin slits of light angled like the eyes of a predator piercing the darkness. The nose slopes forward, sleek and commanding, with the McLaren badge glowing faintly in the center, as though it doesn't need to shout its name but simply whispers it to those who dare approach. The aerodynamic design carves channels into the body, guiding air with ruthless efficiency, yet every channel, every vent, every line feels like a deliberate stroke on the canvas of speed. The stance is wider than anything that has come before, wheels wrapped in futuristic alloys and hugging the ground with an intimacy that almost seems unearthly. They are built for traction, for precision, for carving lines into asphalt like a sculptor carving stone. As the camera glides toward the rear, the entire aura of the car transforms into raw power. The massive exhausts dominate the design, unapologetic and brutal, engineered like jet turbines poised to unleash a storm of fire and sound. They glow faintly even at rest, hinting at the fury waiting inside, framed by ultra-thin LED taillights that blaze across the rear like streaks of lightning in a midnight sky. The symmetry of the design is intoxicating, wide, flat, aggressive, and completely commanding. It feels less like a sports car and more like a weapon sculpted for the battlefield of speed. When the ignition stirs, the silence shatters into an orchestra of sound, not the simple roar of combustion, not the sterile hum of electricity, but a symphony of both, a growl that resonates deep in the chest layered with futuristic tones of electric current, a voice of tomorrow born from the heart of engineering brilliance. The studio itself vibrates with its presence, every corner of the room trembling with the awakening of the beast. Inside the cockpit, the future becomes tangible. The butterfly doors rise, more dramatic than ever, revealing an interior that doesn't look like it belongs in any era of automotive history. It looks like it belongs in a science fiction epic. The seats are sculpted for the body, carved from ultralight composite material, contoured to embrace the driver like a second skin, finished in the same flowing blue and black palette that wraps the exterior. The dashboard is not a cluster of buttons or screens, but a seamless horizon of light. Holographic data floats in the air around the driver, projected speed, power, temperature, navigation, all dancing like glowing fragments suspended in space. The steering wheel itself is a work of futuristic art, flat-bottomed, illuminated edges, sleek panels responding instantly to the faintest touch. Your hands wrap around it and the sensation hits you. This is not simply steering, this is a connection, your body wired directly into the heartbeat of the car. The moment the accelerator is pressed, the car doesn't simply move, it launches forward like a force of nature. The air splits open in its path, the exhausts erupt with fire trails glowing blue against the darkness, as though the car is tearing holes into the fabric of night. The aerodynamics come alive, shifting like wings, adjusting seamlessly to each gust of air, each curve of the track. The tires grip with precision, the suspension reacts like muscle memory, every fraction of motion executed with perfection. The sensation is not of driving but of flying at ground level, hovering across the asphalt in a blur of speed and color. Neon reflections blaze across the polished surface of the body, flickering in streaks as the car devours the road. From the front it is intimidation, pure and undeniable. From the side it is elegance stretched into motion, a silhouette that feels impossibly long and low. From the rear it is dominance, monumental exhausts framed by lightning taillights declaring power without apology. From above it is mathematical symmetry, curves and edges flowing into balance, so precise it feels more like geometry than design, and yet every angle carries emotion and artistry that cannot be explained, only felt. Each contour a brushstroke, each reflection a story. This is where engineering ceases to be a cold calculation and becomes something human, passionate, emotional. Imagine it under city lights at midnight, skyscrapers glowing as the McLaren streaks past, leaving echoes of its exhaust behind, neon billboards reflecting off its blue and black armor, the ground trembling with its passage, people turning not because they heard a car but because they felt a presence tearing through the streets. Imagine it on an open highway, endless asphalt beneath the wheels, the horizon stretching out like an invitation, and the car surging forward, devouring mile after mile without hesitation, the exhaust flames painting the darkness behind it like a comet racing across Earth's surface. Imagine it on the racetrack, engines screaming around it, yet none able to match its sheer presence, each corner, each straightaway conquered not with effort but with grace, as though the car was not trying but merely playing with the laws of physics. This is not only speed, it is intelligence sensors hidden seamlessly in the body, scanning every moment of the environment, predicting moves before they happen, adjusting aerodynamics before the wind even strikes, analyzing every surface, every corner, every possibility. This is a machine that doesn't just respond to the driver, it bonds with the driver, it adapts, it learns, it becomes an extension of human instinct. When you grip the wheel, you no longer feel separate from it, you feel fused into it, your mind thinking, your body reacting, the car executing it instantly. This is what makes it terrifying to rivals. This is what makes it legendary to those who experience it. It doesn't just dominate the present, it defines the future. Stories will be told decades from now about how in 2030 McLaren unveiled not simply a car but a prophecy. Children will grow up with posters of its silhouette on their walls, not because it was rare or unreachable, but because it represented the moment when ambition broke through every barrier of what was thought possible. People will look back and say that machine was not built, it was imagined, and it redefined what we expected from design and performance. Every reflection, every flicker of light across its blue and black surface, a reminder that the future is not about waiting, it is about creating, and McLaren created a vision of tomorrow's speed before tomorrow even arrived. Stand before it in the studio and silence falls over you. It is sculpture when still, it is energy when moving, it is emotion when felt. You don't simply look at it, you experience it. You don't simply hear it, you remember it. You don't simply drive it, you become part of it. And as the studio lights begin to dim and the beast fades once more into shadow, the image remains burned into memory. A machine, flat, wide, massive and magnificent, a car that has already written its place in history before the first wheel even touched the road. This is not just McLaren's concept, this is the world's glimpse into destiny. This is not a car, this is the McLaren 2030.